It's Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. Our guest, Steve Bradford, member of the California State Assembly. And wow, what a difference a year makes. We know as a result of Proposition 30 passing and improving economy that California, dare I say it, is in the black.
We're on the mend.
That is unbelievable, sir. We're
Yes.
not in the red as we had been for the last several years.
For the first time in a long time.
How did this happen? Did I say it?
By good fiscal management, by the legislature, the governor, by the passage of
Right.
Prop 30, that helps. Let's act like, let's
Right.
recognize that.
Of course.
And also the economy's on the uptick. So.
I want to speak about a variety of portions of the new budget, and I want to focus first on K-12 education. I think it's fair to say, sir, that we really are seeing a revolution in how we fund K-12. We know the base grant is going to go up, but for schools that educate high numbers of ESL, poor, disadvantaged students, foster kids, they're going to see significant bumps per student, and then if they have a large number, a concentration grant that gives them even more money. What do you think about that?
I think it's about time.
Really?
Because at the end of the day, those kids who face the greatest challenges need the greatest amount of resources. We're not saying deprive any school that's performing well of anything less than what you're already receiving. You're going to receive a bump too.
Right.
But if you're telling me I have a higher population of ESL,
impoverished
students, they're going to need greater resources.
But let me ask you, and I hear you, and I think most people would agree intuitively.
No, most people don't.
Intuitive, well, be that as it may. But the way it winds up is, per student, you get about a 20% bump. If you're part of that concentration grant, another 50% could flow per pupil. So that's a nice 70% bump. Is the gap that great, a 70% difference between a student that isn't in a challenge category and one that is?
I can't put a number there, but you can definitely quantify that in saying that there are more resources, whether it's tutors, counselors on those campuses, after school programs, they're going to be needed.
I want to talk about the safety net. We've been speaking about that for quite some time. And I think it's fair to say that the cuts to the safety net were dramatic over the last few years. I know that some money was restored in the recent budget. Was it enough to get us back to pre-recession levels?
No.
No.
It's just, again, as the speaker likes to say, we've gone from a deficit to being broke. So, we're able to pay our bills right now and stay afloat and set a little bit to the side, but it's not those
So what about the neediest among us? We've been cutting welfare rolls, we've been cutting health care, we have the Affordable Care Act before us. Are we ready to meet the needs of the neediest?
We're going to have to. I mean, it's coming. On October 14th, the program has to be implemented. So we're doing everything from a legislative standpoint to position ourselves. So we're going to have great coordination and cooperation from our local level, our county administrators, but also from our medical professionals.
I also want to ask about setting aside money, which was done. It's not technically in the rainy day fund, but money was set aside. That being said, we still have serious pension obligations and retiree health care obligations. Not money not set aside for that.
No.
Are you concerned?
I mean, we're going to continue to work and look at all the issues and making sure that we provide the resources necessary to continue those obligations that the state has in California. But to say that we've addressed them all today where we can say we don't have to look at them anymore. No, we still have work to do. We still have to make sure those revenues are there for the long-term obligation of the state of California.
It's a big deal. It really is.
Mammoth.
Mammoth. His name is Steve Bradford, member of the California State Assembly. I'm Brad Pomerance, and you've been watching Time Warner Cable's Local Edition.